Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. I'm Dave, and what we're looking at is how to do a level 5 step sum. What are step sums? You know, those new cross math puzzles that are the total rage. If you like Sudoku but are getting a little bored with them, well, this is the next thing in the evolutionary stage. What it is, in this grid, you have to use the numbers 1 to 15 and put them in here. You can't repeat any numbers, and you have to use them all. But when you're done, that's the part that's like Sudoku. But when you're done, then also the columns have to all add up correctly and all the rows have to add up correctly. So unlike Sudoku, it has the element of math. So yeah, there's more thinking. So it's math and logic. Really fun puzzle. So why don't we get started right now? And you notice that and by the way, if you like this, please hit the like button. And if you want to pick up your copy of this amazing book, here it is. Yeah, that was amazing that I said amazing book and then it didn't show up. Back cover, front cover. This is on Amazon. It's 112 pages, lots of puzzles. There's easy ones, average ones, and hard ones. Okay, enough shilling. I'm done with that. And now back to our regularly scheduled show. Oh, I'll leave a link in the description. Okay. You could tell I'm really terrible with the marketing, so I just want to show you how to do the puzzle. I'm like a professor, right? Okay. The easiest way to sink your teeth into a level 5 is this. Look for the easy ones. Like, see this row up here? This is a gimme because there's only one space left. You have 16. We already give you 7 as a starter clue, so this has to be a 9. So we plug that right in. And the same thing with down here. You've got 13. We've already got 2, so, well, this must be 11. So we're going to pop that right in there. But now, where do we go from here? See, this is the part where we really need some kind of an icebreaker. We need to kind of figure out, what's going to work. And where do we start? Because this row was easy. This column was easy. But now we have to put on our thinking caps. So I'm just going to arbitrarily pick a row or a column. Let's try this one with the 9 and the 12 that has to equal 35. I've got a good feeling about that. And I'm just going to color code the squares just so that we can kind of amazing how I said color code the squares and then nothing happened. Okay, let's do that. Okay, that's not too hard to look at. All right, so we have a 9 and a 12, which makes 21. I can buy beer. Didn't say that out loud. Yes, you did. Okay, can we get back? Yes. 21, 35. Okay, so we need 14. We need two numbers between 1 and 15 to fill in these boxes. Well, how do we go about that? Well, the question comes up, can we use, say, for example, a 1 and a 13? Well, let's check around here and see if we can. Yeah, we can use a 1 and a 13. So let's do that. Let's just write that down as a possibility. And if we could do a 1 and a 13, we could certainly do a 13 and a 1. Okay. See, because remember, it could be 1, 13, or 13 and 1, and it really does matter. But before we start crunching the math on this, let's just see what else is there, okay? All right, so what about 2 and 12 to put in here? Well, we can't because we have a 2 and we have a 12, so we can't use those. All right, well, could this be a 3 and 11? No, because we have the 11. Okay. Well, what about a 4 and a 10? Well, I don't see any 4s and I don't see any 10s. So let me just put this in my little scratch pad area up here. Now, guys, I'm doing this in Excel, but the thing is, it's a paperback. So anyway, can I just move these up one? Because that's going to really irritate me right there. Yeah, okay. Now let's just keep them there. Okay, so those are the numbers that we're going to be using to plug in. So let's start with the 4 and 10 and see what happens. So we got the 4, we got the 10, and don't worry, I'm not giving a class on how to use Excel. Okay, so if this 4 and 10 is good, then the rest of the puzzle is going to be a layup. Unfortunately, here's the first problem we run into. We need 29 for this row, and so far we've got 4 and 5, so that's 9. So, okay, I'll just put a 20 over here. We can't do that because the puzzle only goes up to 15. Sorry, can't use a 20. All right, so obviously, let me get rid of these. We can't do that. All right, Well, let's try the 1 and the 13. But you guessed it, we're going to run into the same problem that we just ran into with our other combination. Because now this only makes 6. And we still got to get 29, and there ain't no way we're doing that with a number from 1 to 15. 29 is just too big. You know, it's like an NBA player. I didn't say that. I hope you guys say they're probably not watching this. Okay, now let's try a 13 and a 1. Okay, that will show a little better promise on this row, hopefully. Okay, so now, and again, we already did the math, so we know it works, but let's count it out anyway. 9 and 13 is 22, 23, 35. Okay, so that's all happy. So what do we do about going this way? Well, we've got a 13 and a 5, so that makes what? 18. I'm 18. Okay, 29. That means we'd have to put an 11 here. Is that going to work? Well, it works for this row, but now we have two 11s. Two 11s in progress. Okay, that was a cop joke. Okay, that's not going to work. So obviously... Oh, and by the way, I was supposed to be erasing these. We tried the 4 and 10, it didn't work. We tried the 1 and 13, it didn't work. All for the same reason. 29's too big. 13 and 1, we just tried it, it didn't work. Well, what about 10 and 4? See, we've eliminated every other possibility, so this has to be the answer for those squares. That it has to be that, because nothing else works. And we know that there has to be a solution, so that's it. So now a lot of this is going to go quickly. So for 29, see, now we have a much bigger number here, 10. 10 and 5 is 15, so this must be 14. Now we're going to start cranking through this puppy of a puzzle. We can do 34 now because there's only one square left. So 6 and 4 is 10, and 11 makes 21, and 21 is how many less than 34? Well, that would be lucky 13, channel 13. Mr. Rogers agrees. Is he still going? Probably not. Anyway, I digress. Now the 19 should be really easy because it's 5 and 13 makes 18. I am 18 going on. No, you're not. Okay, so that's 18. So this would be a 1. Okay, so we're almost there. Look at how much we got done. That's because of teamwork. No, I've been listening to you guys. Okay, so when you get to this part and you get to the 3 corners, you know, there used to be the 4 corners of the world. Well, yeah, it's a recession. There's 3 now. I know. How do you do that? How does that even work? I think the easiest way, instead of like going crazy now with using calculus and all that fun stuff, I just look for the numbers that are missing. So for example, I see a 1, I see a 2, I see a... Oh, actually, I don't see a 3. All right, let's put this up in our little scratch pad area, and let's keep going. I see a 4, I see a 5, I see a 6. I know this sounds like a children's show when I do it this way, sorry. I see a 7, I see a... I'm not seeing an 8. All right, let's tack in an 8 up here. Okay, I see a 9, I see a 10, I see Bobby, I see Sally, I see 11, I see 12, I see 13, we're running out of numbers, I see 14. Okay, there's no 15. Okay. You can solve this however you want, but do you want to see the easy peasy Dave way? This is the simplest way to do it, and it always works, and you'll get it done the fastest, and I guarantee you'll have more brain cells left over than any other way, other than looking in the back. That would be cheating. And yes, I'll tell the teacher. Okay, so let's take this row on the bottom. We need a big 33. Do you kids remember those 33 records? 33 means a slow playing record. Okay, or no, it doesn't. Never mind. I digress. That's a 78. Not part of this. Okay. So we have 12 and 1 and 2, which equals 15. That means these 2 remaining squares have to make 18. Do you see any 3 numbers in here? Or out of these 3 numbers, do you see any 2 that will total 18? And we know that 8's out of it because there's no 10. But the 3 and the 15, that equals 18. The only question is, do we put the 3 here, or do we put the 3 here? Do we put the 15 here, or do we put the 15 here? Well, we don't know yet. But one thing we know for sure, where does the 8 have to go? If the 8's not here and the 8's not here, the 8 has to be here. By process of elimination, and because we're really smart folks, the 8 goes there. So, let's take them for a little scratch pad. Why is it a scratch pad? I don't see any dishes. Just, come on, would you? All right. So now to get the 50, all we have to do is add up all these other numbers and subtract it out. So I mean, the 8 and the 7 make 15, and the 14 and the 6 make 20, and 15 and 20 is 35. So this bad boy has to be the difference between 50 and 35. Could that be 15? It is. And I'll tell you why that's blue in a minute. But if that's 15, then this bad boy over here has to be 3. And that's how you do it. It's really that easy. Except when you're doing it, you won't hear my jokes, and so you'll probably do it like twice as quick, and it won't be like an hour-long video. But that's how you do a 5-level step sum. Okay, now, why is that blue? Because I like the color. In the book, there's 32 level 5 step sums, but there's actually 64 of them. Because unlike the level 3 and the level 4, which are a little easier than these, what we do when we start you out, and by the way, let me turn this back to the color white, and let me get rid of all these. They didn't do anything wrong. Their only problem was existing. Okay, kind of like snakes. All right, now let me get rid of this. Now, the typical level 5 puzzle is just like this. It starts out with these 5 clues first given there. Okay, these 5 hints. But that's it. But we solved it. We persevered. We took us all winter, but we got it. We made it back to base camp and ate, well, like polar bear or something. Anyway, a vegan polar bear. He just ate vegetables. Don't ask me to get into that. Okay, so now, what are we looking at? Well, the difference is there's a second section of hints between these puzzles and their solutions. And what it is, it's the same exact puzzle, but it gives you that corner filled in already. So you really get to do the puzzle twice if you want to. Here's what I would recommend. When you're first starting out, do the ones with the clues first. Get them all solved and get comfortable with it. Then come back, if you still have brain cells at that point, and then you could go back and do the ones that don't have this. And then, anyway, that's how I would do it. It's like getting 2 puzzles for the price of 1. Hey, how could you go wrong, All right, hey guys, that's all I had. Like I said, I'll leave a link at the bottom of the in the description below if you want to check out the book on Amazon. And that's all I had for now. Does anybody have any questions? Yes, Bob? Sorry, there's no Bob. And there's no question. I guess I gotta run. Thanks for your attention. You're still here? Wow, go get the book. All right.